Yaddle Chattle.
It's a Star Wars podcast that is sweeping the galaxy, the highest rated online Star Wars podcast in the galaxy. I guess podcasts need to be online. I've never seen an offline podcast. Wasn't sure how you would even listen to that.
On the radio?
Do you listen to an offline podcast with a soup can?
Well, I guess you download it. You're not streaming it. You're not like watching it on YouTube. You download it, so therefore it's offline, I guess.
All right, listen. Minus 2 points for me. That was stupid. That was something that Jedi Jared would say. Of course, I am Darth David, one of the co-hosts of Yaddle Chattle, the fastest rising R-rated Star Wars podcast galaxy in the land. We are up to 1,111 on the rankings.
Wow.
Absolutely. And with me, as always, the co-host of Yaddle Chattle, ladies and gentlemen, very polarizing figure. He's supposed to represent the light side of the Force, but lately I feel like he's been dabbing into the dark side slightly.
Just a little dabble.
He's got a new hat that he's wearing these days. It's black. I just want to remind you of Jedi colors and Sith colors. Look at it. Look at the hat right to the left. That's my hat from Ireland. Put that on. Just put it on. I don't have lice.
No, but is that family?
Look at that hat.
Is that
That's a goddamn Jedi type hat.
Okay, I'll look.
And you have the same type of hat. No, wait a second. Why did you take it off so quickly?
It was wet.
It's wet. You know why?
It's the sweat.
Fucking pissed in it. I pissed in it.
Come on.
It was a trick. It was a
Come
practical
on.
joke.
You know,
I wanted you.
I
wanted you to wear a piss hat.
Oh, so now now I just need to wear a cum hat. I've worn a duty hat.
I wasn't even going there. I swear I was not going.
What were we just talking about before we started recording?
We were not going inside.
It's in the ethos. It was on your mind.
Well, let's at least say that Jedi Jared worked for the Opie and Anthony show for years, and I worked for the Ron and Fez show.
I interned.
You interned.
There's a
Okay.
difference.
So you're quibbling to make yourself look worse.
No. Because,
make yourself look smaller.
Well, no.
Rather than being an actual employee, you were just a little shit-kicking, coffee-grabbing intern. That's what you were, just a nobody.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, Jedi Jared and I got into a radio war at some point where we had to match each other with stats. This was not a voluntary mission on my part. I was dragged into this war. But as always, I ended up winning because I nuked his ass. But, oh yes, I did. But, so we're not going to go there.
Let's not go there.
Okay.
Let's save that for the Patreon
I do want to point out your hat is very Sithish. Can you just try it on one last time? I'll snap a little picture so I can try it out there. Put on this beautiful hat.
Do we have to do this while we're recording?
Yes, we do, because I need you on camera so I can get the screenshot.
Oh.
Please, look at that. It's tan, and it's got light tan and brown tan. These are Jedi colors, my man.
Okay.
Plus, I just got you for a second time to wear the piss hat. Trick. All these years later, I just fucking ended the goddamn radio war of 2007, Daddy. Tricked ya. Now, we got all kinds of Star Wars, Jedi Jared. I'm very excited. First of all, Jermaine Lassire, G-Baby,
yes,
has talked me down from the ledge. I know we talked about it slightly last week. He's talked me down even further. He has seen Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and he says it's great. Okay, he says that she's gonna make a few old jokes. The girl I'm talking about, the
Phoebe
Walker,
Cates,
whatever. Too many hyphens for my taste. That's something that I'd like to see go away. The whole hyphen trend with the last names. Pick one, in and out. You want to be Waller, you want to be Cates, or whatever the fuck it is.
That's gonna
Bridges. Phoebe Waller Bridge. Bridge.
Oh.
Choose one. Phoebe Bridges. It's a nice name. And you can tell everyone you're related to Todd Bridges.
Sorry, I'm thinking of former 80s,
on the mic.
I'm thinking of former 80s icon Phoebe Cates.
Phoebe Cates.
Who's
gorgeous.
Married to Kevin
Kline.
Yes.
Excellent. He forced her to get out of acting or something because she married Kevin Kline and disappeared.
I think she became
Gremlins?
a mom.
Who cares? You were in Gremlins, lady. You were in Fast Times.
I mean, Bridget Fonda quit acting to be a mom.
Good for her. I like Bridget Fonda. Listen, this ain't the fucking Pulp Fiction Jackie Brown fucking show or whatever the fuck Bridget Fonda was in. Now listen to me.
Yeah, okay.
Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, Jermaine Lassier says this is a great movie. Why this helps me is because I need to get just a little confidence in Kathleen Kennedy back. Since James Mangold, the director of the Indy 5 film, will be directing the Force Origins biblical epic that we're told is the origin story of Jedi, Sith, and the Force itself. This helps me a little bit. Jermaine says the lady does make fun of his age, but overall, it's a roller coaster ride, so to speak. It's what you need from your Indy movie. And like we discussed before, the women take shots at Indy verbally. All of them. The first one did. It's not the years, it's the mileage. Hell, Marion was calling him old. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, she called him old. You had Willie Scott making fun of him a little bit, the German lady. So just relax. Okay, Jared, what were you going to say? How are you? Okay, how about this? Confidence-wise, where are you with Kathleen Kennedy right now?
Same where I was last week. I'm gonna wait to see Indiana Jones. Hopefully, it's a win. Like I've always said, a win for Kathleen Kennedy is a win for us.
For us. Ultimately, we're Star Wars fans, and we root for Star Wars. You're not looking at two haters. You're looking at two people who hate each other, but love Star Wars. See, I fucking hate him. Trying to fucking out-Sith me? Huh? You think you're gonna out-Sith me with that black hat? What are you, the fucking Sith of Showdown? Huh? Huh?
We could always do a heel and face turn.
I can't be a baby face. Darth David can't be a baby face. Look at me. I'm hideous. And listen to how I talk. Is any fucking self-respecting Jedi gonna have this stupid Jersey accent and all this shit? I'm fucking Sith for life, broad.
Okay. Maybe you should get a tattoo that says Sith for life.
Right on my stomach like fucking Tupac. Thug Life?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm doing Sith Life on my stomach. That is my next tattoo. Sith Life on my stomach. Thank you. You know what? Plus 2 points for you.
Thank you, Mr. Champion. I've got a really good idea actually to piggyback off of that.
Yes.
The fans could donate and pay for the tattoo.
All right, into the microphone.
And then
you can look at me on the screen. God bless you.
We could raise the money somehow, maybe live stream it as you're getting tattooed.
Well, let's not grift quite.
I don't want to grift.
We've never asked Yaddle Chattle audience for money, and this is our 61st episode. Can you believe that?
I know, but this is this isn't a grift. I would never grift. I don't. Yeah,
you're not a grifter.
I'm anti-grift. I work a job.
He works.
And
he's a hard worker.
I like supporting myself.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I was just saying, tattoos aren't cheap.
No, I know.
It's not a cheap thing.
No,
that's really all I was getting at.
I hear you. You're right.
Especially something large like Sith Life. It's probably gonna cost a few $100. That's all I was saying.
Well, should we do a little Star Wars tats for a second, just for the YouTube people? Because people might not be aware of everything that the Davey Man even has. So, real quick, let's do a little Star Wars tats, because people might not be aware. My forearm is the poster from Return of the Jedi. Okay? Remember? See that?
Yes.
Remember the poster where it was just the two hands holding up the lightsaber?
Yes.
Now, this piece of art I did myself. I also have the Rebel Signia. Oh, it's going to be hard to see that. Right there. Rebel Signia on my bicep there. And it's got the Millennium. It's on an asteroid field. There's a little Millennium Falcon and there's a TIE fighter. How about that? And then finally, I have my kids' initials, S and J, but it's done in Star Wars font. Those are my 3 Star Wars tats. Oh, wait. No, I have another one. And then here's the Jedi thing. I actually forgot. So I have 4 Star Wars tattoos. That's the Jedi symbol right there. That's on the bottom of my right forearm. So there you go. But, yeah, 5 is a better number than 4. It's a rounder number. I want Sith flags. All right, so, okay. Kathleen Kennedy, we're going to stick with that for a second. I'm not the only one who thought that the fucking release date is just a mess. I've seen a few articles now online. So rather than having the movies be 2 years apart, is what we were told initially, 25, 27, and 29, they have the release dates now as May 2026 for the first movie, December of 2026 for the second movie, Jared, and December of 2027 for the third movie. It's worse than we imagined. In a year and a half span, they're gonna get 3 fucking Star Wars movies. Again, Star Wars is too big, to me, too epic to have 3 movies, because Star Wars fans like you and I, and like so many others, like to break them down and like to digest what we just watched with a Star Wars film. We need that time. We need a little buffer. I actually was all for the 2 years release schedule. Every 2 years, 25, 27, I thought, okay, smart. We're getting a lot of Star Wars there. You're getting 3 movies in 25, 27, 29. You're getting 3 movies in a 3-year time period, essentially. So I don't know what the problem was.
I think Disney's not doing well financially. There's been a lot of
good call.
Honestly, I don't put this release.
So you think it's a money grab?
I don't think it's.
And by the way, Bob Iger, think about this for a second. If what Jared is saying is true, you cannot use Star Wars as a money grab. At least, let me take that back. Not the content. You want to make Star Wars toothbrushes and fucking Jar Jar Binks tongues and toys and hats and fucking shirts and all that, and Star Wars land in the goddamn Disney parks, fine. But the content itself, the movies and stories and TV shows need to be special, and they cannot be money grabs.
So the way I understand the way movies used to be made, I'm not 100% sure if it's still exactly like that.
Go ahead, on the mic.
They don't actually take their own money and finance films. They go to a bank and actually get a loan. Like, they have these special banks that finance.
Sure, it works. Films. I mean, it works. It works in a myriad of ways, but that's one.
Disney probably will. I don't know, but this is all completely conjecture. I'm just making this up. They borrow $1 billion to make 3 films, and $1 billion covers the budget and whatever marketing and finance, like whatever marketing and shit that's going to involve. Because some of these films, they're going to spend almost a quarter to a third just on marketing.
I hear you.
So,
I don't know how you're going to market 3 fucking movies in a year and a half time period. What you're bringing up is actually important, because one of the most fun things to a Star Wars movie, is that build-up and is the anticipation and the fun of Star Wars movies coming out. You're not going to get that period, or you're not going to get an extended amount of that period, because it's going to be a Star Wars movie and then, a month off Star Wars movie, a couple months off another Star Wars movie. I think this is a huge error by Kathleen Kennedy's side.
I actually don't put this on Kathleen. I think this is coming from higher
Iger?
up. I think, well, not Iger, but the board at Disney.
I don't know. I think it's only Iger or Kathleen Kennedy. Now, I got something for that first Star Wars movie.
You just brought something up that kind of triggered a memory of mine.
What's that?
I don't remember the original trilogy. I was born in '87. The last movie came out 5 years before I was born. 4 years before I was born. I remember when Episode 1 came out.
Prequel trilogy is actually better for both of us to talk about, because I was only 5 when Return of the Jedi came out. And so I didn't have some sort of... No, I shouldn't say that. I apologize. I had seen Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. And Star Wars on HBO premiered, I believe, in February of '83. And somehow we saw Empire Strikes Back. I think it might have been on television, like a regular, TV
like Channel 11 or something like that.
Not 11, but I think it might have been on a CBS or an ABC or something. Okay. But I remember being excited for it because of either the McDonald's or Burger King glasses of Return of the Jedi. Their marketing was there for the kids, so I was really excited. But for the prequel trilogy, I loved how, they do the every 3 years. But again, every 2 years, I feel is to me, that's perfect. It is a perfect time, because you're not getting Star Wars rushed, or you don't feel it's getting shoved down your throat, yet you're still getting a lot of Star Wars.
So the build up to episode 1 were those re-releases that Lucas did in the mid-90s of the original trilogy, right?
Right.
And there was a lot of marketing behind that. But I remember the marketing for episode 1 just being absolutely fucking insane.
It was. It had to be. It's the return of Star Wars.
It was Natalie
everything.
Natalie Portman and Liam Neeson on Pepsi bottles.
Everything.
Pizza, like the deals that they had with PepsiCo, because at the time PepsiCo owned KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut.
You're gosh darn tootin'.
And you had with the little kid, was it
Jake Lloyd?
Jake Lloyd on a pizza box, like the toys, just the
Jar Jar lollipop, where you had to
where
you had to kiss his tongue. You literally had to lick his tongue. That was the cherry part of the candy.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was fucking disgusting.
Or they had the lightsaber lollipops too.
The fleshlight that you could, the Jabba the Hutt fleshlight that you could fuck. I remember that. What
they just had? I know where you. Okay.
Dude, go ahead. What else?
We could build a comedy pyramid.
No. What else?
No, I remember it just being.
No, you're right.
It was inundated.
So then, how are they going to do that for
that's
the second and third of these movies? I have no fear that the Rey movie will get a great rollout. We'll get great PR. We'll get a great campaign. I am guaranteeing that the second movie, at least, the second movie will not fulfill its box office potential. If the movie was going to make $1 billion, that movie's going to make you $500 million now. I'm telling you, they are decreasing that fucking second movie by 50%. And that third movie could see a decrease as well. It's too much. What is she doing? I do want to give you an exclusive, though. Okay. We have a breaking story. There's a title.
For the
first one is going to be called Star Wars New Jedi Order. That's the Rey movie. Star Wars New Jedi Order.
That's awful.
The exact date is May 22nd, 2026, and the movie will begin shooting next April. Maybe this has got something to do with the writer's strike? Because I was going to say, why not start shooting it this April and then put it out in 2025? The way you fucking told us. You made the goddamn fucking announcement, Kathy. Follow through on the announcement, lady. What are we waiting for?
I think that they're making a
Jesus, I gotta get water. Can you stretch?
No, yeah, I'll stretch. So I think that
you can talk and stretch.
They're making a huge mistake by releasing
Don't forget to get those shoulders.
If they're going to actually
just do what I do. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. 42.
I thought you needed to get water.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, what I was getting at is...
Keep stretching. I gotta get...
God, for the love of Christ.
Don't forget to move to stretch that neck. There you go.
Ooh, I hope you guys heard that.
You done stretching. I got my water.
Can I make my point?
Yes, please.
Thank you. I think that they're making a huge mistake by releasing the Rey movie first. If they're
I agree with you on that.
If they're shortening this entire release period, they should definitely be releasing the James Mangold movie first.
I agree with you on that because the Mangold thing just feels fresher.
And not only that, but they're leading in with something that the fans not completely, but left a very sour taste in a very large amount.
I don't get it, dude.
Fans
we don't have. I'm not gonna say it every week, but if you're gonna start with a sequel trilogy character, you start with Finn. Rey herself, and by the way, Daisy Ridley was great. Rey, she's a good actress. And Rey's a good character. I got zero issues with Rey. No, she's good. She's good. I
don't know about
She's good. Where I agree with you is that Rey, for the Star Wars sequel haters, she is the poster child more than any other character.
More than Rose?
Yes, it is.
Really?
No. Because Rose is in a little bit of episode 8. Let's stop pretending that Rose is the biggest fucking character of all time.
It's not the
Get
biggest,
over the Rose hate.
It's
not that hard.
It's just a poorly written.
No, I know, but it's not like the fucking character took over 3 goddamn movies. People's Rose hate is stupid. It's ratio. All I hear on Twitter is ratio. The amount of Rose screen time is not deserved for the amount of Rose hate. But all I'm saying is Rey, just because she's the star, is synonymous with this thing. That's why I would have switched it up and had Finn. I do agree with you that Mangold's movie should be first. Because since it's as epic, it's literally being described as a biblical epic. So, if this movie hits, you're going to probably have a couple other movies with that world of Star Wars. Start off with this one. We are familiar with Rey and her story already. I agree with you. I think it's a big mistake.
I think that...
I don't know what's happening.
I know, I see what your point is about how the hardcore fans need time to kind of digest the film, but I think the synergy that a really good Star Wars film would give would, be a huge palate cleanser that,
I've said it before and I say it again and I mean this. If the Rey movie hits, okay, massive hit, number 1, in May of 2026, okay? By December of that same year, it's not enough time for Star Wars fans and for the general American or international public who isn't, so insane about Star Wars that they're going to be like, wait, a Star Wars movie just came out in the summer and now there's another one? It's just... not enough time.
I agree.
Kathleen Kennedy, I don't know why you're making this mistake again. It's fucking insane.
Even if it was...
What do you think about that title, though? You don't like it? New Jedi Order?
No. Why?
Okay, and here, because I'll tell you why. The rumor is that Rey will have 2 apprentices, one of which could be some kind of, the one, or the prophet, or something like that. She's going to have 2 apprentices, and one might turn out to be like a little Vader or some shit like that. What do you think about that?
No, I don't like that.
Uh-oh. Because that's the rumor of the story.
That sounds like they're trying to shoehorn in what was happening in those Timothy Zahn books, right? Right?
Oh.
But they're trying to modify it because they've completely screwed up the canon.
Well, all right. Well, actually, speaking of...
this is what I'd want to see. I'd want to see, we don't get to see a lot of these Jedi that are still out there that we know are still out there post Order 66. This would be, I guess, this is supposed to be maybe 50 years after Return of the Jedi. Maybe seeing some of these guys come out of hiding, they're middle-aged, I don't know what they're doing with Ahsoka, but it would be cool to see her kind of do what Luke didn't do, which is unite all the Jedi that were still out there, and kind of go where Luke didn't get to go, restoring this Jedi Order type of thing. If it's only 2 apprentices, that's not
depressing.
really an order.
The way you're talking is depressing, though, that they didn't have Luke do this.
Yeah.
Sad to me. It's sad. George Lucas told Mark Hamill, you're going to be old Obi-Wan Kenobi. Instead, he was like the old guy in Apt Pupil. He was just a fucking bitter, awful, evil piece of shit shut-in. If you haven't seen Apt Pupil, I apologize, but the reference is there, folks.
I think people wanted to see what a Jedi Order under Luke would have looked like and how Luke would have differentiated from the older Jedi Order.
Sad. All right, let's go into this then.
Okay.
Since we just brought up Zahn.
Yeah.
And our boy Thrawn and whatnot. We know he's going to be in Ahsoka.
Yeah.
That is coming soon. We're about 2 months away from Ahsoka. And Dave Filoni has officially stated that, yes, Ahsoka Tano is basically Star Wars Rebels Season 5. He is straight up saying it.
Not surprised.
He is telling everyone. So, I was right in watching Star Wars Rebels Seasons 3 and 4.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't just watch Seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I went back and watched all of Season 4. Loved it. So then went back and watched Season 3. Thoughts and opinions about whether this show is going to work. Because you and I will go by, I mean, work like in a big mainstream way, the way Mandalorian Season 1 seemed to grab a lot of people. Will this work in a way that, if you're a Star Wars fan, can you watch this? Or do you have to watch every animated series? That's the key. Because I feel like if you don't watch Rebels and Clone Wars, you might not like this show.
I don't know. I think
it's asking a lot, I think. But
if Hayden Christensen is in it, which I heard the rumor that he was, I thought that he was in.
This is Ahsoka in The Mandalorian.
Oh,
it's 5 years after Jedi.
No, but what I'm saying is
that flashbacks?
He appears in flashbacks.
Oh, okay.
Then, yes, they can tie all of that back. Or maybe
or World Between Worlds.
Or that, or he appears as a Force ghost.
At the microphone.
He could appear as a Force ghost, and he comes to her and he talks to her, and then she has flashbacks to them fighting in battles, and then he's just reenacting shit from the Clone Wars, kind of regurgitating it for people who didn't watch it.
I can do that. Listen, I love Rebels, and I love the Timothy Zahn books, so it's like, and I love Clone Wars, so you're really getting a lot of good shit here. For me, I feel like I'm very confident about this show. I think it's gonna be great. I have a lot of faith in Dave Filoni. Love the Ahsoka Tano character. Yeah, I'm very excited for this show.
I think it's gonna be great.
I'm just nervous that, you know what? I shouldn't give a shit. I shouldn't. I should be confident enough in my own Star Wars fandom. But where I'm nervous is these fucking online crybabies who hate everything, like Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I really feel like that's affected those two series to the point where I'm not sure if we're gonna get more Book of Boba Fett or more Obi-Wan, and that's a shame because there were more adventures to have, and I fucking hate it. And all these complainers and crybabies and shit, I do feel like it affects the fucking thing because what happens is, a lot of these heads at Lucasfilm and Disney, they listen too carefully to the online trolls.
Do they?
Yes. They think they represent everyone. Or they think that's why
I don't know if that, I don't know.
Hell yeah, that's why you get these actors saying, quote unquote, toxic Star Wars fans. And I'm always like, stupid. Star Wars fans aren't toxic. The 200 fucking assholes online on Twitter that hate everything and insult everything are just clickbait artists. They're not fucking fans. Stop falling for it. Ignore.
I think a lot.
Mute. Block.
I think a lot of it has to do with I think we talk about this all the time, that there are a lot of fans out there that don't recognize any other Star Wars content outside of the original trilogy.
Well, grow up.
You're
not a Star Wars fan either. I'm sick of that too. And I was born, in '77. I'm an original trilogy guy, technically.
There's blowhards and everything, right? And
I'm not listening to the people who don't like anything after the original trilogy. You're a fucking idiot. You don't like episode 3. You really don't like episode 3. Don't lie to yourself. Fine. You don't like Jar Jar? Got it. Granted. Understood. Yes. Very, very. We got that you don't like Jar Jar. Fantastic. You really don't like episode 3? If you can't like episode 3, are you really a Star Wars fan? That's not just one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Sometimes I think that's one of my favorite movies. Period. Yeah!
Okay. I just think that I think the problem is that people they set their hope as very high.
I agree with that. And I've been guilty of that in the past myself.
When they go and they see episode 4 repackaged, their hopes get a little dashed. And then they go and they see one of their child.
You didn't like Force Awakens?
No. I think that
Force Awakens is fun for me still.
So for me, Force Awakens could have been a better film had they made a few changes.
Like what? You're on the button.
Okay. First off, they should have had at the end what's his face beat the shit out of her. Like
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren should have beat the shit out of her.
That was it, but it's the first movie. You want to end on a happy note.
You want to end, and this is how you end on the happy fucking note. When fucking Rey touches Luke Skywalker's or the Skywalker lightsaber, we see we pan out to where Luke's meditating, right? Or we don't pan out, but we get the idea that Luke has felt this disturbance, like he's felt this thing in the Force,
maybe
right?
Floating on that rock, but from behind, so you don't see his face.
You see like a cloaked person
floating over the rock,
right?
Indian style.
Yeah,
I like where you're going with this,
right? And then, as everything's going on the Death Star 2.0 or 3.0 rather, we see a fucking X-wing rise out of the water, right? Then as Kylo Ren's beating her down, and he goes, "That belongs to me. Like, give me that lightsaber. That belongs to me." The thing shoots out of freaking her hand.
Onto the microphone.
Shoots out of her hands.
You keep looking at me when you can look at
the
me
light. The lightsaber lands in Luke Skywalker's hands, and he goes, "Actually, it belongs to me."
Oh, shitties! Scissors!
Then, fucking Luke Skywalker, best Kylo Ren, like easy peasy, and he goes, "I've never given up on hope on you, kid. Come back whenever you're ready." And then him and Chewbacca take Rey.
That's not bad.
That's how you fucking end it.
JJ didn't go there.
That's how you fucking end it. You end it with taking that
That's
way.
That's not bad.
That way you get both Finn and Rey going with Luke Skywalker, and you can potentially get the Jedi training with Finn.
Give yourself 4 points.
Thank you, Mr. Champion.
Okay.
That's
1 point for the Mr. Champion, too, because that's respect. That's the respect I deserve. I prefer if you called me Darth Mr. Champion.
Darth Mr. Champion.
Thank you. I like that.
What do you think about that?
I just said I liked it. Minus 5 points. Okay. Because I told you liked it, but now you're trying to get me to say I like it again because you want even more points.
No.
It was greed. It was fucking Jedi greed right there. Jedi ambition that Palpatine warned about in episode 3. So minus 5 for the 5 that you had gotten. Another minus 5 as well on top of that.
Okay.
Pedro Pascal says he's cool with Bo-Katan taking over the Mandalorian. Now hold on. Whoa. I feel like this quote is being a little bit misconstrued. To me, I read the whole article. I read the thing. It sounded like when he said he's into Bo-Katan taking over the Mandalorian, he kind of meant more of the Mandalorian army, like the crew, and that we're going to go back to Din Djarin just totally by himself, which I think is good. I think a lot of Mando fans simply need Mando and Grogu out there getting into little adventures, and then when there's a big threat to the galaxy, they team up with some people. But we got no problem with Mando and Grogu going out solving some mysteries and shit like that by themselves while Bo-Katan leads the Mandalorians. I think that's what Pedro Pascal was saying.
I'll take a different approach on that. I think the whole concept of the Mandalorian, because you've heard what Favreau said. He's like, I can do this forever. I can do this show for another 20 years, right?
Yes.
But it's going to be kind of hard for it to be like old man Din Djarin and like a now grown-up Grogu, or, a teenage Grogu type of thing, and seeing their kind of adventures, and he's become the old man, and they've taken a more Obi-Wan Anakin, old Obi-Wan, young Anakin kind of role.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing about the Mandalorian means that it could be any Mandalorian becomes the Mandalorian.
Yeah. I don't know.
That way he can keep that way it's not doesn't become recycled. It can become fresh. Like, right now we have, Din Djarin.
Yeah, you're right. All right,
he's a bounty hunter. He's got this kid.
Yeah.
But then we can see Bo-Katan.
So like Doctor Who.
I get kind of like Doctor Who, but at the same time, there's different dynamics. So now Bo-Katan's ruling Mandalore.
And you could bring back Pedro Pascal, like season 16 of The Mandalorian for like a fun thing where he comes back. All right.
But you see,
I can get into it.
That's what I think when they mean like The Mandalorian is it's going to always focus on a Mandalorian and the different thing that they might be doing. So we have one that's ruling a planet. Then we may get one like a Grogu type of thing.
I get your point. All right, fair enough. Giancarlo Esposito says Moff Gideon could be back for season 4 because maybe that was a clone that we saw get killed. Maybe that wasn't Moff Gideon.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't Gideon himself. That Gideon could have been just flying up in space somewhere. He got his ass the fuck out of there, put one of the clones in his little outfit to whoop some ass. But meanwhile, if that clone gets killed, he's fucking floating in space right now. He's not even there. Think about that.
I thought he survived the fire.
I thought he survived the fire
that's
too.
That's what I thought.
But it's not a bad theory. We saw all of his clones. Takes one clone out, dresses him up.
Because Gideon seems like he's the only real potential rival to Thrawn.
And he's a great character, and Esposito's a great actor.
Yeah.
And why not have more of him? The thing that they've made too many mistakes is we've said multiple times here, not just with Star Wars, with Marvel as well, is the killing of iconic characters or just characters that people dig, that are cool, that are captivating, that are simply fun to watch on your screen. Don't take them away.
Yeah. Well, I think with Marvel, they could have just recasted everybody.
Hell to the fucking yeah.
That's probably what they should have done, but whatever.
Speaking of superhero movies, I just saw The Flash.
Oh, yeah.
Thought it was excellent.
Really?
Back to the Future as a superhero movie. If you like Back to the Future, you like superheroes, and you throw in a wonderful performance from Michael Keaton as Batman, and it's not just a cameo. He's like the third most important character in the movie. It's pretty fucking great. One guy who was in the movie, back as General Zod, is Michael Shannon, the disturbing actor from Boardwalk Empire that I loved so much. He was the cop.
No, he also played.
Scary.
Did you ever see him in Iceman? He played that the hitman, the Iceman.
But I like him. Oh, he played Richard Kuklinski?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta see that.
Yeah, it was like a little independent film he did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was great in that.
All right, he's a great actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Apparently, he turned down a Star Wars movie in 2016 because he doesn't want to be stuck in franchise movies. I know. Now he's doing DC.
Do you think it was Snoke?
I think it was DJ. Right? The part where what's his face? Benicio del Toro got. But I do think it was The Last Jedi. 2016, he said, is when he was offered that role. So The Last Jedi came out in 2016.
Yeah.
But of course, it came out in December.
The
Last Jedi came out in 2016, Quibbler.
Did it really? God. No. I thought the. Okay, yeah.
You're right. The Last Jedi came out in 2017.
Okay.
But that would make sense that if it was 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
So you're right. I take it back. -1 point for me. But plus 2 points for me as well.
Okay.
So it would have been either Rogue One, or I guess, or no, I just don't see it as Rogue One. I think Rogue One was already in production.
You couldn't see him as
DJ, right?
Could you see him as Krennic?
Oh, that would have been great.
Like
if he was Krennic.
I could see him as Krennic.
See, I can't because of the British thing. I think they needed that British accent as Krennic.
But
I guess he could put on a British accent.
But he doesn't have to have it. He could just be like, or he could have been the father.
No, the father of Jyn Erso?
Yeah.
Galen Erso?
He could have been Galen.
No, that's a bad one. I like the thought of Krennic, but I really think this was more of a DJ scenario. And I will get to, to me, that's the only thing. Who else? Let's say it's Last Jedi.
Okay.
Who else could it be in The Last Jedi?
Oh, there's really no one else.
The Laura Dern character? You know what I mean?
There
is no one else, right? Yeah. He's got to be DJ, Laura Dern.
I guess if Admiral Hodo
was a male or some shit.
Yeah, I guess it probably...
Because wasn't that character supposed to almost seem like she could be a traitor? But did Laura Dern... I'm not going to blame Laura Dern. She's a wonderful actress.
Oh, she's a great actress.
Did they write that and pull that off? Because I think that character was supposed to be a little darker and more like, hey, that person is a traitor. Fucking Poe calls her a traitor. So maybe that could have been Michael Shannon's character, because he would have brought that darkness to be like, oh, this person's working for the Empire. This person's a fucking absolute weasel traitor.
I thought it was a poorly written character, but that's besides the point.
It was either Haldo or DJ.
I guess so.
I think it's got to be the Benicio del Toro character, in which case he was smart not to choose it, because why?
They underutilized
the character never
him.
came back for episode 9. And in the end, the character never committed to anything. He's just like, yeah, I mean nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm not a good guy or bad guy. If my character didn't exist, the entire trilogy would be exactly the same. Like the character that had absolutely nothing in terms of impact in a Star Wars movie.
Well, there's
zero.
Well, there's Captain Phasma.
Zero. I sadly would say Phasma has more impact than DJ. At least we knew where Phasma stood. DJ, like, even morally didn't even have any. I know, but it made the character just wishy-washy. It was a fucking jelly donut of a character, is what it was.
I agree.
Soft.
I agree.
Now, Jedi Jared.
Yes, David.
I'm upset. A Star Wars writer has written something that's gotten me upset.
Can we just call this bit bad takes? Bad takes.
This is called Star Wars Bad Takes, and it's by author Rachel Leischman from the website themarysue.com. I don't know how the fuck I found this.
That's a feminist site.
Okay, so the title is Shocking. Men are mad online about a woman in Star Wars.
I don't even need you to read what this article is about, because I already know what it's about.
What's it about?
And I'm just going to straight up say and argue this point for the millionth fucking time. Men don't fucking care about women being heroes. They care about good fucking characters.
They won't. People like this,
Sigourney Weaver.
People like Rachel Leischman will not accept criticism for a shitty movie, a shitty plot line, or a shitty character. Star Wars fans are desperate to have a great movie. Star Wars fans loved Princess Leia.
Dude,
Doug, Mon Mothma, or other people. Like, you got to chill.
But you know what it is?
Let me just say, this Rachel Leischman starts off her fucking article. The whole premise is the new video game has a woman character, and she said, this is the premise for a quote-unquote article by a journalist. Ready? She says, there was a comment about the fucking Star Wars video game that's gotten 500 likes. And the comment simply was, are there no more men left in the Star Wars galaxy? That's what the comment fucking said. And it got like, but again, let me explain. Disney, writers, journalists, fucking Lucasfilm, everybody. You fucking morons. You fucking naive, stupid, gullible fucking dorks that treat every commenter online and every troll as if they're important. As if she has a full-on fucking article because some guy wrote, are there any men left in Star Wars Galaxy? And by the way, maybe sometimes it's because, listen, the Ahsoka trailer looks good. You see Ahsoka and the lady. Then you have the other, there's a lot of ladies and no one's complaining, but people are also like,
Okay, let's break.
Jesus.
I'm going to take you back to 2016 when this garbage movie called Ghostbusters Answer the Call came out. Now, people were clamoring for 30 years, about 30 years, for another Ghostbusters movie, right? They didn't want a remake. They wanted a direct sequel with legacy characters that they grew up liking. And if they have to pass the torch, you pass it in a tasteful way. Instead, we've got this alternate reality where and no one really cared that it was 4 women being Ghostbusters. It just wasn't a direct sequel. And the entire thing was that this is sexist. It's a weapon that these people use over and over again.
For bad content.
Because they don't...
Remember the director, the Elizabeth Benton, whoever she is, who directed Charlie's Angels, no one saw it, and she said men are sexist for not going out to the movie theater
it is,
and seeing, by the way, the 9,000th fucking nauseating reincarnation of Charlie's Angels, which was never that fucking great of a television show, let alone then you have 8,000 movies that no one gives a shit about, and you're gonna do yet another one? And then, because the movie bombs don't give shit to women, give shit to men. They're sexist for not forcing themselves to see Charlie's Angels.
Well, they
Stop it.
They
Stop
said
it.
the same thing about Ocean's 8. It's like they made 3 Ocean's movies. They didn't need to make a 4th one.
Was Terminator 2 a shitty movie?
No.
Linda fucking Hamilton, assholes.
That's been the point
Hold
I've been
on.
making for
Was
9 years.
Aliens a fucking shitty movie?
No.
Sigourney Weaver, assholes. Jesus Christ. They're pretending like a big time legendary action movies with women don't exist. They do.
And
shut up.
You know who's done it fucking
And
right?
by the way, I want women. I want the people of color. I want everyone represented. But first and foremost, we just want good movies. The concentration needs to be on the best fucking Star Wars stories right now and the best Star Wars characters. Why? Because this is a critical time for Star Wars, where quite frankly, Star Wars, a golden franchise that makes very few mistakes, has made a lot of mistakes recently. So it's a critical period in time for Star Wars. Make the best movies you can, the best characters you can, and don't give a fuck about anything else ticking off any earthly boxes of race or sex or sexual orientation. And I'm saying this as someone who is inclusive, okay? So don't come at me. I'm just letting you know it's a critical period in time. We need the best shit.
So, did you see
And this fucking writer, Rachel Leischman, what are you talking about?
It's just
And you write a whole
clickbait.
article about someone who comments on a video game trailer. And you're taking this person seriously as if they're a fucking, they're Bob Woodward? They're some kind of respected journalist? Why the fuck would you care? But how about this, Rachel Leischman? Because I didn't even want to bring this up. Did she pause for a second to look at the fact that it got 500 likes? I'm not saying
she did, but she's like,
why doesn't she respond with what she says and see how many likes her reply gets on the one?
But the argument is, and this is what I was going to say before, you brought up all of the more popular franchises that have a women-led, like, action, science fiction, because they were good content.
Good content. Guardians of the Galaxy. Ladies.
Did you see
fucking
the new Terminator Dark Fate?
No.
So they got Linda Hamilton. They got James Cameron to produce it and kind of be a consultant, right? It had Tim Miller, the guy who directed the first Deadpool.
Okay.
It was a fucking regurgitation of the first movie.
So
except there was no John Connor. John Connor's dead, and there's a female now version of John Connor that they have to protect.
Okay.
And there's not a Kyle Reese. There's a female enhanced Kyle Reese sent back in time. So it's just a regurgitation of the first Terminator with women. That's not a good movie.
They don't understand.
That's not a good movie.
What Hollywood and movie theater, and I really want people to pay attention closely to what I'm saying. The sexist and racist and bigoted shit comes from Hollywood being so fucking belittling to women or people of color or those who are marginalized that rather than come up with thoughtful, creative, new stories, movies, television shows, and new characters. They simply go, let's placate this group of people by just very lazily changing an already established character into being that person. Let's just grab this character and make it a lady or this or that. And it's fucking lazy. And if I was a woman, I would find something like Ghostbusters offensive. Because I would say that's not Hollywood trying to get me involved. That's Hollywood clearly trying to think I'm a fucking idiot and placate me, and here's your lady Ghostbusters, lady. And that's why it was a bomb. Not because men didn't see it, because men and women didn't see it. Because they know when they're fucking being condescended to. That's why this shit should stop. It's because Hollywood, you're the ones who are actually bigoted and shit. When you can't come up with something new for someone who's in a minority group. Instead, oh shit, let's just make the Superman a fucking Latino person in a wheelchair that's got a pussy growing out of its forehead.
Well,
stop.
I will give.
And I want to make it clear. I am not. This is no woke thing or all that bullshit. As I've maintained, I'm a very open-minded guy. I'm an inclusive guy.
Do you know who?
I want everyone to be treated fairly. I want people to be respected, and they should have their own unique stories.
Do you know who's gotten the female action hero thing right?
Terminator 2, Alien, Aliens 1.
Recently, that's like
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Charlize Theron.
Wonder Woman. Charlize Theron.
Fucking I don't know anyone who didn't like Mad Max Fury Road.
That was a great movie.
Epic fucking movie. Nominated for an Oscar. She's an Academy Award winning actress who wants to be a fucking action star.
She's good.
She did Eon Flux.
Let's get her in there.
Did you see The Old Guard on Netflix?
No. Is this the fucking Charlize Theron channel?
My point is very simple what pertains to this article. If that movie was awesome, I'm really looking forward to if they make a sequel to The Old Guard. It was...
They're full of shit right now. People like Rachel Leichman and stuff are full of shit because if they don't make a good product and the show sucks, then they call everyone an ist.
Yes.
And stop it. Stop it. Make good shit and make original shit. Worry about that. Not worry about all these fucking labels that are ruining and dividing society.
There is another element that we haven't even talked about in regards to this article. You said that this whole article came from a comment about the video game.
Star Wars Outlaws.
We're not even talking about
a female protagonist.
A movie, right?
Right.
We're talking about a video game.
Correct.
What is the overwhelming majority demographic that plays video games?
I mean, while a lot of ladies and women play video games in 2023,
it's grown.
I know what you're saying.
Statistically speaking,
they don't want to go out. They're embarrassed. Look, Disney, Hollywood, do whatever you want, but it feels like these franchises get embarrassed if something is a male demographic these days. And it's like, folks, you are allowed to have demographic specific fucking franchises, and it's not like, in doing so, you're not an ist. For instance, would you agree that Sex and the City is probably a female demographic franchise?
Yes.
It does extremely well.
Yes.
The fucking show has had several incarnations where it's been a hit, and the first movie was a massive box office hit.
They've had two
Right.
movies. They've had
and
two
guess
spin-off
what?
shows.
Guess who doesn't get offended by Sex and the City? Me. Guess who doesn't say, fuck Sarah Jessica Parker, let's have a redheaded guy in that role. Okay, fuck her. I want me in there. I want a redheaded guy because they're not applying to my demographics. Drunken, 40-year-old Irish Catholic men. So I want a redhead guy in the part of Carrie Bradshaw from now on. Call me Kevin. Kevin Bradshaw is my name. No, you can have different things that are set for different demographics, and they can be huge. A lot of women were into Twilight. Now, no men saw that, but it was a female-driven franchise, and it was a $1 billion franchise.
I will
and
say
guess what
this.
happened with the men? The men were like, it looks kind of lame to me. I'm not going to see it.
Yeah, no, well, actually, it's
Except for Jedi Jared, that is.
yeah under the influence. It's hilarious.
But do you
movie.
see my point?
Yes.
Right, and no one's saying, hey, Twilight, you're fucking sexist against men. Because this shit, it looks really female-ish.
Yeah. No, the whole like
It's okay, folks. It's okay.
you have
It's okay. You can have stuff for people and a big-ass demographic. It's allowed. You're not bigoted if you do.
they just want to use this as a bludgeoning to say if you don't like something that supports a specific thing, you're X, Y, and
Well,
Z.
that I fucking detest,
but-
and that's
but
going
that-
on in
that-
society where if you disagree with someone, you are now some sort of fucking, scumbag rather than, well, actually, I just disagree with you. It's not a big deal.
It could be a great video game. We don't know. I haven't played it yet. I might buy it because it's a giant open world sandbox video game. And it's about outlaws, so there's gonna be a lot of like decision making, whether or not you're gonna be the good guy or the bad guy. And
I might get it. I think I'll get it.
who cares? If it's good, it's good. No one fucking cares.
Yeah, and the thing that Rachel doesn't understand is if the game comes out and the game is awesome, no one's going to give a shit.
No one's gonna give a shit.
At all. So stop making your remarks. But it's just, it's annoying.
It's a bad Star Wars take.
All right.
You want me to do mine?
Oh, you have one? Because we're almost at a show here.
We could save it for next time.
Save it for next time.
That's fine.
Because let's go out on a positive note.
Okay.
Harrison Ford.
Yes.
Recently, years ago, he said Han Solo was a thin character. Not physically. That there wasn't a lot of meat to the matter. Harrison Ford just gave an interview where he thanked George Lucas for giving him, quote, a wonderful career, close quote. Isn't that nice? Isn't that classy?
I don't know how that pertains. I think he's referring to Indiana Jones.
No, he was talking about Star Wars. They asked him about Star Wars, and he said at first he was nervous because it was such a big thing, and he was worried about getting pigeonholed. But then said after that, and it was because of Star Wars that he got Indy, Oh, yes, it was.
I mean, he was the
second. They wanted Tom Selleck, as we all know.
Tom Brady. He's basically Tom Brady.
Yeah, fuck yeah. We could have had Kurt Russell as Han Solo and Magnum P.I. as Indiana Jones, and Harrison Ford just be like, he'd probably be like the fucking like prosecutor, like DA on Law and Order. Like he wouldn't even be a movie star. He'd be the guy who does the closing arguments on Law and Order. And that's it.
That's it.
My client, ladies and gentlemen, that kind of thing.
Well, he's done, he's had three successful franchises, if you think about it. Star Wars,
Jack Ryan,
Indiana Jones, and Jack Ryan. I mean, how many people...
I wish he made a third Jack Ryan. He only made the two. If he was in Hunt for Red October, then he'd be the greatest franchise actor of all time. And he's going to be doing Marvel. The Red Hulk.
Yeah, he's replacing William Hurt.
Whoever they asked him, they go, are you going to be,
Growing a
transforming? No, they go, are you going to be transforming into the Red Hulk? He said, what the hell's a Red Hulk?
God bless him. I love him.
The best.
Because you want to know what it is? It's like, he's like a real man's
He
man.
doesn't know what the fuck a Red Hulk is.
You know what it is? It's like he goes and does these movies, and then he goes home and builds a gazebo.
Yeah,
because
goes
he's a
on a
fucking
airplane
carpenter
or some shit.
He's flying an airplane. He crashes the airplane at 75 and just gets out. And he's got like one broken bone and say he didn't die. He's so awesome.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best. I mean, how many plane crashes at this point?
That was just the one.
No.
He's had multiple.
He's had at least had two.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he had.
He beat
Well, he
John
had the
Denver.
golf course. He had the tarmac incident where he almost flew his plane into another plane on the tarmac. He had the golf course crash, and I feel like there might have been another crash. The tarmac incident was just him driving on the tarmac, almost hitting into another plane, from what I heard. But I thought he had two crashes, one on the golf course. Regardless, tell you, Indiana Jones, you know what? He said it. He said in Last Crusade, remember Henry Jones Sr. said, I didn't know you could fly a plane. He said, fly, yes. Land, no. I didn't realize that was an actual Harrison Ford autobiographical line. All right, we need to do a Star Wars cage match and get out of here.
Well, okay. Let's do Han Solo versus Poe Dameron.
Han versus Poe. I like it. Matchup of the fancy X-Wing pilots. All right. You know, Poe's scrappy. Poe's got guts. I give him that. You know, staying there, shooting at Kylo Ren. Kylo then freezes the fucking laser in front of him. Puts him on board. Interrogates him. He doesn't give anything out until Kylo Ren invades his mind with the Force. A lot of toughness in Poe Dameron.
Which you also noticed that Vader didn't do that. Vader didn't cross that line.
Good point. Vader probably had that discipline. You know? We were always supposed to look at Kylo Ren as an unhinged motherfucker. A lot of toughness for Poe. Here's the issue. Han's got at least, I'll say 9 or 10 inches on the guy. And we've seen Han Solo pick up large men and throw them into the mouth of a Rathtar. Furthermore, we've seen Han even get Rathtars on his ship. Too much toughness for Solo and too much of a size advantage. I look at this as sort of Conor McGregor versus Brock Lesnar. Great fighters, Brock's gonna win just because of the size. Give me Han Solo. You're regretting this very matchup since apparently you can't even make a case for Poe.
I can't.
Ha!
I won't. I can't and I won't.
So who wins?
Well, Han Solo wins.
Why?
I mean, he's just a fucking scoundrel. He'll do whatever he needs to do. He'll play dirty. He's known as a scoundrel. He's a fighter.
I know he is. You like me because I'm a scoundrel.
He's a scoundrel with a heart.
No, I don't. I like nice men. All right, look. That's it. Now, got a little news for you.
Oh, okay.
Patreon.com/EastsideDave is the place you want to be subscribing to because episode 4 of Davey Max Tales from the Satellite comes out this weekend. That's where I discuss my nearly 10-year career on Ron and Fez, Opie and Anthony. Special delivery starring Sam and Dave in the Davey Max Sports program. Episode 4 comes out. I'm not going to say what it's about, but I will say Ethan from Lost factors in to the mystery. Okay?
Okay.
What would you like to plug, Jared, as we got 50 seconds remaining?
I guess follow Eastside Dave across all social media platforms at EastsideDave, EastsideDaveCountry.com, YouTube, Eastside Dave TV.
Thank you. Those are all plugs for me.
Yes.
Thought you would plug something else. Maybe, anything you're up to? Maybe try a Jedi hat next time. Less dark. You're very Sith with that hat. I'm not against the hat. I'm against the color. Tan, please.
Let me see if I probably have that.
He's Jedi Jared. I'm Darth David. This has been Yaddle Chattle, a Star Wars podcast. Good night, everybody.
Good night.